What's going on, man? Just want to get on here. I want to really just talk about a little something different. I know um, I talk a lot about other stuff like white supremacy, politics, and so forth. I definitely want to just jump into something new. It's going to be short. I try to keep this short, but I definitely want to talk about women value in prostitution, and I think that's need to be addressed. I think a lot of people look at the track with different meanings of it or implications of it. Is it a last resort? Yes. Is it a training ground? Yes. Is it in a way profitable? Yes. And there's also no. There's many of them is also a no. So it's a very universal, unstable instability, all wrapped in one with the track. I think, like I said, the track is mainly what most will perceive as what you would say is a training ground and a last resort. If you're a new girl going on to the track, this is like a training ground for you. If this is your old school vet, you've been in the game for multiple years, or like I said, you maybe was out there, you maybe wasn't dealing with the game, and you had some financial crisis that you ended up being on the track as the last resort. And then you got another segment that love the profit and the financial revenues that they receive or gain on the track. The whole general consensus is the value system of the track. Now, why I kind of know of it is because I participated. I'm not saying on purpose, but back in before everything, being on the road as a truck driver, I was involved on the track. Knew a lot of girls on many coasts, East Coast, West Coast, down South, Midwest. Seen everything. Been through all different aspects of basically of the industry, illegal or even way legal. So I have a more of an understanding to it. That's why I kind of revive myself to talk about the subject. Is the track is more of a value system. It's basically where girls will go, and boys. 'Cause I mean, you got a lot of transgenders, you got a lot of gay, or you got even good dudes that are straight and they operate as gigolos. Sometimes be on the track, but that's a whole different discussion that might be had some days in the future. But there's a value system, and when these girls go on the track, now some of them are forced, as if they have pimps, and others are independent, or like a lot of people say, renegade. They call them renegades because they go against the rules of pimping, or just say the rules of the track. Now you're you look, you're free to do business as an independent person, or you want to be managed, because that's what pimps are. Pimps are basically almost like managers, in a way, in the street level of illegal business. They're like managers, but they're also too. Like I said, there's a business side to it, and there's a business side to it, and there's a play side to it. And you got many girls that go there purely for the love of sex. You got girls that love to have sex. Then you got girls who just strictly for the money. Now, what crosses those two focal point or ambitions, because they're both ambitions, is the value of which the market they're in the track. And what I mean is when you're dealing with, you say customers, clients, or they a lot of niggas call Johns, there is a value system that they put on you. Now, this is not just one person. This could be a group of people. But there is people that will pay higher, and they will perceive you as a higher value. But the two ambitions that these girls come in is very connected to the value with which they are perceived on the market of the track. Like this case, like example, you got girls that love sex. So they will when they get a customer, they are going full blown on them. But for there's such a love of sex, they charge a cheap rate. They charge a cheaper rate than they should be. So they bring down their own value. Now, from the great words of spoken of Black Authority, he said, once a man sleep with you for what he has to spend or what he maybe has financially, he will not go any higher. He will stay at that current level while dealing with that specific woman or person, woman, whatever. So if you're a prostitute that loves sex and you're charging $50 or $60, then guess what? Your clients is going to only expect to pay $60 or $50 for you every time. Now, same way the girl that ambitious is business, and you have a lot of those. Those girls, I'm not faulting them. They get their money, but there's also there's a disconnect in that, and the disconnect that I will probably say is you have women that are so business oriented that they don't have good quality of service. I'm gonna say service. So their ambitions of business is there, but the actual performance is not there. So yeah, you're demanding a higher value, and guys will respect that. Dudes will normally respect that. I'm not saying all guys, but most guys respect that. Most guys also recognize this is a business transaction, so they understand it. But if your service is low, inadequate, or a man feels like you're not appreciating him, then that man will not come back to you again. So in the web, you lose. Oh yeah, you gained maybe $80 to $100, but you lost a repeat customer that actually you can generate or more revenue just from that single person. You got renegades that understand that game to it. It's the girls that give you more flack of more business is girls that's under pimps, because they basically, most girls that's under pimps, they follow the rules of the pimp. They follow his philosophy of navigating the track. While you got girls that are renegade or track or independents, they understand both ambitions, and they know how to basically not just obtain but retain a current or recurrent clientele base. I mean, like I said, I knew a lot of renegades in my time, a lot of girls that make a lot of money in what they do. They normally, you want to, and this is where I try to tell, like when I was back in the days, I try to tell the girls, whatever, if they were pimped or independent, you always want to build a clientele, because your clientele is going to be your revenue stream. The track is a last resort or training day for new girls or desperate girls. It's not a place that you can't make money off of. Now you can obtain loyal customers and build a client base of which you don't need to go out to the track. Now, like I said, the track in recent time have been very dangerous. A lot of girls been killed, a lot of girls been raped, a lot of girls been in prison. I mean, been arrested, jailed. But it's all. Look, the thing about it is, it's a value system. When you go on the track, it's a raw value of what your sexuality is on a financial, economic level. You got girls that thrive in it, and you have girls that is complete failure in it. Because you think you just getting money. It's not really about you getting money. It's still gravitating to your client. Now, the clients of which you're dealing with, or you got girls that deal with preference, those could be a backfire to you. Because like I said, there's many, you dealing with men and they really involved with this as being called Johns or whatever. Sometimes these guys can be ruthless because they look at, especially when they look at a black girl or black prostitute, they already look at you as inferior. They don't even look at you as human. So when you're dealing with certain type of customers, especially even on a racial level, there you got to have a racial consciousness of some of these customers I get that is not of the similar racial color or the racial group I am from is not going to perceive you as a way as you was dealing with a customer from the same racial background you. So there's a consciousness that you must have. A lot of girls don't have it. Some do. And you can kind of understand the girls that got that consciousness, they actually thrive pretty well in the industry. While you got girls that don't and can't comprehend it, they're struggling. Or it could be life-threatening. They could be dead. So that's the thing about the track is you gotta be very intelligent to navigate your way in the track. Not just on the track, but just in the sex industry, period. Now, there is places that they have, there's more organized, a little bit more structure to it. I maybe we'll talk about the strip club versus the track. And I might talk about the spas versus the strip club and the track. That's going to be probably for another video. I might go on and discuss about that, but the value of the track is solely for women that's on last resort or training ground. They have to, and it's not really about them. It's more about the clientele that they are attracting. And also you have a lot that try to create a client base. I mean, when I mean create, they want to have a selected client base of who they deal with. And that's perfectly all right. But that's not good business. Good business model is you if the money's there and the clientele is willing to do business with you for the service that you're providing, that's where the premises should be met. Like I said, most women have this and most women don't have this. Majority of the women that are pimped, they got that mind frame. While you got others that are independent that do not have that mind frame. Now, like a lot of now I'm gonna talk about. Now you're independent. They're not always the most expensive one, but the reason why if they charge you at a higher rate Because they are one, they got clientele base. They got a recurring generating revenue stream. Girls that pimped, the prices are very iffy. Like I said, sometimes it goes by individual case by case. You got some guys that might like a particular girl, and he might pay a little bit more than what he needs to. Sometimes, but you got majority. Like I said, the first time you deal with a man, don't matter if it's unrelated to prostitution or outside prostitution, a man will only expect or contribute that much in what he has sex with you in a financial level. If the dude only make $30,000 and you sleeping with him for $30,000, he's not going to do anything more or anything less, because you got with him at $30,000. So you can complain all you want, but he's not going to change. That's what most men today think of. Now you got also the same apply to prostitution. If you charge a man, let's say $50, and then you guys kind of been going through a routine of transactions for the price of $50, he's not going to want to pay you if you said $80 or $100. He's not going to budge. He's looking like, we've been doing this for $50. I am not going up with you. I am not going to yield to your demand of value. Your value to me is $50. Now, that's on the individual case level, but that's how the track is set up. This is solely on the value of your sexuality. But you got women that will sometimes get confused of the ambition that they walk into, and this is what happened when they meet the actual result of their value in this market, especially when this market is heavily based on sexuality and sexual appearance. Totally. So, like I said, we'll talk a little bit more about that. I just really want to put my little 2 cents in it because I dealt with it. So, but yeah, like I said, I'm gonna get with you guys real soon, and I'll hit you up later. All right, one.